Hello and welcome to sim.bc where the time is all over there because I'm charging my phone. Yeah, I've had a bit of a problem with my phone not charging actually. So bought a new charger today because the other one said, oh, the USB port is wet or something. So for a brief period I thought it was my phone and I considered to put it in the microwave. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I read online, okay, bear with me. I read online that someone said, oh, you can use a hairdryer in the phone so it will heat it up and make all the water particles go away. And I was like, that's exactly what a microwave does. And then I realized, there are some, you know, opposite, like there are some difference between them, some obvious differences. But anyway, you might see that I'm not in my room. Yeah, because I actually went all the way to Toulouse. So today I'm in Toulouse. Yay! And let me give you the lay of the land, so to say. I'm so tired, by the way. Slept like 5 hours because I booked the wrong train, or I was going to book a train, but when I went in there, it said, oh, it can't be booked because, it's already full, so I had to take one 2 hours earlier. And I already booked my hostel here, so, had to go here now, couldn't just cancel it. Then it turns out when I got there, I only paid €2 a fee, as a deposit, so I could have cancelled. But anyway, I'm here and I'm super excited and it's awesome and it's all good. So as I said, let's give you the lay of the land. So as you can see, this costed me €20, by the way. I have my own per night, €20 per night. So I have my own kitchen here, yeah. And why am I saying my own? Well, because there are 4 beds and none to share them with, because I am going on an off season, so it's only me who's booked a room. Now there might be other people who can come during the night and so on and so forth, so I might get some sketchy people, but so far it's all good. Here is the bathroom. Oh yeah. And I have my own washer. It's called something. Shower, exactly. Don't you think that I didn't know what it was called? Probably going to do a small video about this as well as I did in the Barcelona trip. But the plus side here from Barcelona is that I have a huge balcony as well. Yeah, let's get out here in the warm sun, which is averagely 16 degrees or something. It's not that hot, but it works, it works. Actually, in the sun it's like 25, 26 degrees, but in the shadow it's like 20, maybe 18, 20, something like that. So it's not the greatest thing ever, but it works, it works. I can sit out there in the t-shirt without giving a crap, without giving a damn, I can actually go out there and without thinking about bringing a second shirt or anything like that. So that was my apartment, so to say, so far, or my hostel bed. And I've looked at some things. As I said, I might do I probably do a small or short video about this trip anyway. But I thought, why not talk about some of the things I've seen so far? And I will try to make it super interactive. So I will read on this map that I was given with all the different landmarks on, and I will try to put a picture up here. Oh yeah, and I move in that direction. Haven't I the best guy ever to do these things? So, like that. And I will try to put up a picture here with the thing that I have visited. And you can follow better with my understanding of the thing. So, I've been to Basilique Saint-Cernin. Yeah, yet again, I'm butchering the language, so don't look at me like that. Which is really close to the hostel I'm at. Shout out to the hostel, by the way, even though, the follower base I have isn't that extensive yet. Or might never be. So, anyway, shout out might be the wrong word. More of a, here I'm staying. I'm totally recommending it because I'm having such a good experience so far with it. It's called Hostel. I actually don't know the name of it. This is the worst planning ever. Doesn't it say somewhere what it's called? No, it doesn't. Well, it's called something Hostel and Saint-Cernin. I'm pretty sure. I will probably, I will include it in the video, probably, if you're really interested. Otherwise, write a comment and I will try to find it. This was bad planning. As usual, I might add, the structure is off the charts. This is my lovely beard mustache, if you even can say that there is any. I'm thinking that there is some, but, nobody else might do. Anyway, getting into the meat and potatoes of the thing. As I said, Basilique Saint-Cernin, or whatever it's called. I will show a picture, as I said, so, you will get with it, if it's not already up. In that case, good job, Philip. Post-editing and all of that. Um, so Basilian Saint Bernard, and that was certain. It was actually quite cool. It was quite big, but it didn't look like the, what should I say, the classical churches that I'm used to. Now I know that these are Catholic churches, and I'm used to the Protestant churches in Sweden. But usually, when I was in, okay, if I say it like this instead, when I was in Bordeaux and in Paris, and even in Barcelona, actually, there were some churches that had a very, very similar, what should you say, structure to the churches that were built, like the architecture. I could see that some of the architecture was very similar. The big halls, you can see them from the outside. They're shaped like a T in a way. And so are the churches I'm familiar with from home. But these were actually more like one big room, which is kind of awesome. Or am I thinking about the other church that was called Couvent de Jacobins? Yeah, Jacob's Church. Solid. Anyway, moving over to that one, because that one I'm sure of had just one big room and then a tower or something in the back, which I thought was kind of cool. But this one was also interconnected to a garden, which was connected to a, where monks and nuns go. It's called not a Colosseum. It's not. You know what I mean. Anyway, where monks and stuff go. It was connected to one of those, and so was the one I was in when I was in Saint-Emilion, which is the wine district close to Bordeaux. And they had a very similar church with a very similar architecture to this one, and both of these are very different from the ones I'm used to. So, nice to see. Then I also went and saw the Dôme de la Grave, which is basically is the big psychiatric hospital as far as I'm concerned. That's what I got from it. It seems like this very old and cool building, which is really respected with the community, even though it seems like it can do with some renovation, to be honest. It reminds me a lot of the big church in St. Petersburg, and I'm saying the big church like there's only one. Even though the churches in St. Petersburg are Orthodox, and I've been to St. Petersburg, might add that. Even though they're Orthodox and these are Catholic, they're very similar in the dome structure. Even though this is supposed to be a hospital, and the Orthodox churches in St. Petersburg are, churches. But the architecture between those churches in St. Petersburg and this hospital here, at least with the dome, is quite striking. It's very similar in the way it's presented. So I thought that was pretty interesting, pretty cool, like proving that I've been traveling all around the world. Yeah, I'm so awesome in Mr. International, Mr. European wide. Anyway, so that seemed like a hospital because it says that on the map too. I can see that now with with the red circle and the white cross. Let's see if I can get it in here. There, yeah, there. So it's a hospital, but I saw like specially reserved parking slots for psychiatrics and stuff like that. So I'm assuming it's some sort of psychological hospital institution or something. Anyway, quite fun, interesting thing as well. La Garonne, the river, is going all the way to Toulouse from Bordeaux, which is pretty awesome. So I'm actually seeing the same river as I'm seeing when I'm at home in Bordeaux. Fun anecdote. I thought that was amazing when I saw it. I know that like 90% of the people listening to this will be like, what? I don't get it. But for me, that's really awesome that it's the same river that goes so far into the country, because, since Sweden is very, what should we say, stretched, we don't get that same kind of feeling of rivers going into the country and traveling for a long while if it's not going like north or south, but it doesn't. We don't have any of those. We have like 2 big lakes and that's kind of it, as far as I know. But this I thought was really awesome. Anyway, wrapping up, that's what I did for the majority of the day. And then I went to the plant garden, which I assume is like the public garden here. And then I was planning to go to the Royal Garden, but ended up in the Grand Round, which is basically a circulation place for cars around a park. And the park was really awesome. I thought it was the Royal Park first, but the Royal Park was closed, so it turns out I was there. And then I saw some Monument aux Monts, which is basically a monument of, it looks like the Arc of Triumph in Paris. We have the same one in Bordeaux. Not the same one, not as huge, but it was the same concept. It was like the victory of the First or the Second World War. Can't quite remember. They had both of the names engraved, so I assume it's for the First World War, and then they added the second one when they built it after the second one, promoting their victory in both the first and the second one. Even though France wouldn't have won on their own, but you know, whatever. Go US and UK. What? I love France. And then I moved, even though it might not show. And then I moved from that monument, went up the main street, which is called Boulevard Strasbourg or Boulevard Lasse. They may be dividing the main street into different boulevards. I see what you're doing, Toulouse. Anyway, went up the main street, and there was actually this huge, what do you say? This huge market I came across, which was on the street, not the main street, but on the smaller streets, which I went around to as well. Bought a new charger, €5. That's approved. Let's see if it starts burning in the middle of the night. You never know with those kind of prices. And then I bought iPhone headphones. You know, the small white ones, but for €5. So one can only assume that they're not exactly the same. Or it's actually true what they say about the I on the price tag, that you add an I and $300. Not that iPhone headphones cost $305, but you get what I'm, you get the point what I'm saying. So the only problem I'm having right now is that I don't quite know what to see tomorrow before I leave, because I will leave tomorrow for Marseille. It's the plan. We'll see how it goes. If I can keep this room, I might just stay here forever, because it's quite cheap for what I'm getting. Actually, it's amazing. Summarizing it like that, it's awesome. It's really awesome. And I know it wasn't a lot of, or wasn't any talk about economics or anything like that today, but I am seriously tired. I mean, I'm on the verge of collapsing. I'm just so happy I could get this out now, whip one out for you mates. And I'll probably record here before I go to Marseille tomorrow, if I go to Marseille. Because internet here is kind of good, looks like, at least so far. And, well, the privacy is amazing! It is. It's really cool. Anyway. Have a nice day, mates, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hope I survive the evening.